I read a tweet today that I thought was really interesting about the future of AI content creation. And so I want to read it for you. It's by a person from Andreessen Horowitz, head of social, by Ish Verduzco. I'll link the tweet. But basically, it talks, let me just read a few excerpts. It says, as AI makes content creation easier and easier, I believe high trust personal brands will become increasingly more valuable in the years to come. Because pretty soon anyone will be able to create highly researched, well-written, and optimized social content. He continues, the only things that will help you stand out are your individual experiences, personality, and reputation. In the near future, people will be overwhelmed with accounts to follow and turn to those who have been consistent in their feed for years. They'll turn to the accounts who not only share about what they're building, but also provide updates about their life, hobbies, hot takes, and personal stories. Some of the smartest people I know have recently realized this and are starting to double down on building out their personal brands, signaling to me that more will follow. In short, they've realized that distribution is the moat. And so it goes on for some tips. Start with the content format you enjoy most. Could be text or video. And then just keep doing it. Posting 5 short form posts and 1 long form post per week. Share about what you're most obsessed with. Share about your hobbies. Share personal stories. Just try to be helpful with your updates. And so I think this is really interesting. I started this channel not for those reasons, but I mean, I heard distribution's the moat. Some people use social media to do so. I would say that wasn't really my goal. My goal was simply, I had a bunch of things that were going on in my head, and I thought that it would be helpful to share it with others. And also, I'm having really interesting conversations with other people, and I want to share that as well. But this does bring up like a really interesting point. Like in a previous video, I talked about how software, because the cost of developing new apps and just coding is going down, more people are going to be able to code. So what does that mean? There's going to be many more apps. Just like how a long time ago, photography was reserved for a certain small group of people who were experts. Then you had the portable camera, then you had digital camera, and then it exploded, and basically everyone's a photographer. But the problem is there's too much content out there. There's too many photos out there. And so then it goes to curation. And so if you think about this, before people didn't have the tool to create pictures, and you gave them a tool called the digital camera, and then it just blew up. Tons more pictures. But what if you gave each individual person multiple assistants to take photos on their behalf and to take photos a certain way, a certain angle, a certain position, a certain subject? Then it's just like a quantum leap beyond of content. The thing about humans is, I forget what this principle is. Basically, after a certain number of options, your brain shuts down. So for example, what I really like about In-N-Out is that it's super simple. The menu is like hamburger, cheeseburger, double. They have a lot of hidden menus, but the choice is very easy. Compare that to a diner or a restaurant that has tons of menus. My brain just shuts down. It's just too many options. And I think that's what's going to happen in the future. Already, we're drowning in content. There's just so much content. But you throw in AI content and your AI agents who will take photo and create content on your behalf that's like super hyper personalized. I think people are going to start developing a feeling of like ickiness, or just like a sixth sense of this is AI generated. I kind of don't like it. It's too good. It just knows me too well. It just kind of throws me off. And so it's almost like then people are going to look for imperfect people. Interestingly, Google Notebook LM, someone who works on the team said that they have a feature where you can create an instant podcast. I talked about that in a previous video. But what's really interesting is they tried generating those voices, and it was AI generated, but it was too perfect. They didn't make any mistakes. They never stuttered. They never said they never said like. And so when people heard it, they just felt there was something off about it. And so they purposely put in imperfections. These imperfections make us more human, and because of those imperfections, because they're more human, we tend to trust them more. And so as I think about what this said, number one, as content creation becomes so much easier, you can throw a prompt, hey, create 5 Instagram posts that are going to go viral on LinkedIn, TikTok about this subject. We're going to get to the point where it can do that. But then all this content, how are you going to read through it? And according to him, he said that basically people, their brain's going to shut down and they're just going to go back to the people that they trusted, the people who will keep going. So one important note is if you start, you need to keep going. You need to keep going. And if you want to keep going, you got to enjoy it. You got to have fun. It's got to be like enjoyable. If it's a pain, I mean, you can just go on sheer discipline, but if it's fun, do something fun. Do a topic that you like, you know? I'm doing a topics that I like, and I find that I'm making many more videos, and I'm actually enjoying them. And every time I'm not enjoying them, I ask myself why, and I do something else, like filming it like this in vertical portrait mode. Behind me is this like random graffiti thing in Korean. I just always wanted to just film here, so why not? You know, it's just kind of fun. But I think the next part is, you know, being in the indie hacker world and solopreneur world. A lot of people come in, especially developers, and they say, I'm going to code this incredible app and it's going to do wonderfully. And what they quickly realize is they made the most wonderful app. It doesn't matter if you cured cancer. If other people don't find out about it, if people won't listen to you, if they don't know who you are, and they don't trust you, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And so I think that this idea of kind of creating your own brand I think will become more increasingly important, especially as there is more noise out there, especially as there's all these people creating content and people don't know who to follow, they don't know who to trust. And so if you can create content, and I feel like sometimes there are people on one end where they're just like totally out there, they're just doing whatever they want. They don't care about the audience. And then there's people on the other end where they're like, I want to create content so it's going to drive likes and subscriptions and all that. I mean, I'm not judging either side. I think both have their merits. But I think here, maybe this AI is going to be able to do much better. The hyper personalized. Maybe AI can do this as well. But I think this is where probably they'll stand out. At least that's the hypothesis. That when people are more raw, when they show their imperfections, where they, you know, have hot takes, when they have opinions and later it turns out wrong, and then they come back and say, hey, I had this opinion about this topic, I was wrong. It brings it's almost like you develop a relationship. And I think that's what's important. It's, at the end of the day, I know people use distribution, which is another way of saying how do you get a product, an idea out to many, many people through social media or whatever. But some people want to use distribution solely for the purpose of selling. You know, that's fine. But if it's to share, to sell sometimes, but to share, you know, I think that's more sustainable. And so I think it's an interesting thing. And if any of you guys are interested in entrepreneurship, it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt to just explore and experiment. And you could do what I did, which is I shot a bunch of videos and I uploaded on YouTube and kept it on, there's private, unlisted, and public. Public, available to everyone. Unlisted, other people can see it, but then you have to share the link so everyone can't find it. You can't search for it, but if you can share with people the link. And private, you can only share it with people with specific email addresses. So what I did was I just kept it as unlisted, and I shared it with a few people that I thought may enjoy the content. And then when I felt ready, I think I had created about 3 or 4 or 5 videos. Then I just started kind of changing it to shared. And then you can schedule it, so you can schedule one for Monday, one for Tuesday, or whatever. You can do whatever you want. But I think just practicing it. And even if it had 0 subscribers, I started with like my wife subscribed. And that was only because my son grabbed her phone and clicked subscribe, and he pressed like. That's how I got my first likes. And now I think I'm at like 33 subscribers. To be honest, actually, I got most of them from these series of videos of AI, not even talking about entrepreneurship. But either way, like for me right now, at my stage, I don't really care about the subscribers. I don't care about the likes. I'm just trying to optimize for myself. I'm just trying to enjoy it. So, you know, you should go out there, just experiment. Just experiment. And I enjoy using AI tools to, I'll shoot a video, I'll get the transcript, throw that into AI to summarize. Like that kind of stuff is fun for me. So find something that's fun for you. If it's too hard, you'll develop anxiety, you're not gonna do it. If it's too easy, you'll get bored. Find something in the middle that you're always kind of just enjoying it, a little bit harder, but not too hard. All right, that's it for today. Peace.